of this place and continue following us. So we are still in this great enclosure, part of the Great Zimbabwe Loons, and as you see, this is one of the tallest walls covering this great enclosure. What we are going to see inside, I will not unpack it now, but just follow me as we go inside this entrance. You see, can you look at this? Look at this. This tall, look at that. And how thick, look at how thick. These are stones stacked together. Stones stacked together of the once mighty Great Zimbabwe kingdom. Let's come inside and see. You see, I was talking about these kind of looms were not just built here. They were not. The kingdom didn't just decide to build this kind of walls. They were not for decoration. The wall is thick. Here it can be nearly 4 meters thickness. The wall is thick. It's not for decoration. I was talking about the protection as a wall defense system. Yes, nowadays countries are building air defense system. They are building sophisticated kind of technology around their countries. But those days, our ancient ancestors in Africa also had the guts to say, no, if an enemy decides to come for us, we cannot just die as a chicken. We have a mechanism which we can use to defend ourselves. So they were building these fences as a way of showing that they can stand there for themselves, protect themselves from whatever attacks, external attacks, enemies which can come and attack them from the exterior. And also, building this kind of walls, this kind of structures, shows that someone was really rich. So these walls also indicates a prestige that these people of the ancient Great Zimbabwe kingdom were really rich. They had what it takes. They had the money, if you can call it money. They had their own currency, yes, but they had the resources. They had the stones, yes, they had the minerals to use to put forth such kind of structure. You can see this is what we're talking about when we are saying an ancient wall. This is what we are referring to as an ancient wall. Scholar, can you think? Do you think an enemy can just jump over this wall? I don't think so. If you are really coming to attack the ancient Great Zimbabwe kingdom, you really have to be organized. They were using this place not only for prestige measures to say we are more than we are better than other kingdoms, but this was also a center of trade in the ancient days, whereby we are talking about the ancient Great Zimbabwe being the center of trade. If you are a historian or someone who likes following history, you can agree with me that the Great Zimbabwe was a crossroads of Southern and Central Africa trade in terms of salts, minerals, minerals like gold, silver, and other minerals. These people, according to historical artifacts that were discovered here, it is evidenced that they were trading with people like the Arabs on a long distance trade, the Chinese people, is witnessed by the pottery, pieces of pottery, jewelry, which has been discovered in this place. You can see all this, and it is also said in history that they were also having some short distance trade that is dealing in the interior of Africa with people like the Swahilis. Like there are some shillings which were discovered in this place. So you can understand from the historical point of view that this place is not just amazing, but this place is worth it to visit. If you come here in Zimbabwe and you don't visit this kind of great Zimbabwe loans, the ancient great Zimbabwe loans, I don't think you have visited Zimbabwe, just because this is the very place where the history of Zimbabwe as a country sparks from. This is the main source of even the name of Zimbabwe. Just a few kilometers from here, that's where the Great Zimbabwe University is. Here, this is Masvingo province, as I said, and there are so many things. So in this great interior, I want to show you, this is a great interior or the great enclosure. So I would like to show you something historical. Just follow me. What only you can do is just to follow me to say what supplies do I have for you. Don't be tired of your legs. So we are talking that we are saying that this is a valley. So being a valley, from history in Lagos, this place has been rich in terms of its fertility. So the other activity, economic activity that was going on by those ancient Zimbabwe kingdom people has been farming, various crops by those locals. They were doing and engaging in farming. We are talking about serious farming that has been translated into the modern world. Before we are standing, can you just see this kind of wall? They are still standing. We are talking about a wall that has been there from 11th century up to now. This stone building, stone wall that has no mud, no mortar used to build it, but it has survived many rains, has survived thunderstorms, has survived sunshines up to date. This is the ancient Great Zimbabwe. So I promised you that we are coming into the great enclosure, and I wanted to show you something very interesting inside. What you see here behind this mighty hall is what is called the conical tower. This conical tower symbolizes leadership, fertility, and of course the manhood of the man who was sitting upon the throne of the kingdom of the great Zimbabwe. So this thing, as you see, was a symbol of manhood, meaning that only a man can sit on the throne of the ancient great Zimbabwe, meaning that no woman was allowed to be a leader in those days, only a man. And as you can see, there are so many passages. This section of this enclosure, the first passage is the passage for commoners to my far left, where commoners were using to pass. That is what we call the Commoners Valley. The Commoners Valley. And you can also see the other passages. And this other passage was the King's Valley, where only a king can use to come in or come out. So you cannot just walk there as a commoner. You realize that you are arrested. So it was an order, a diplomatic order of that day, that only the king can use this passage so that he can address the people who are gathering here. But another historical symbolism that is here. This wall here is a great enclosure. It was not just built in any design. This enclosure symbolized and it still symbolizes the Great Zimbabwe Belt, or in Shona it is called Hungwe, the belt which is on the flag of the modern day country or nation of Zimbabwe. That belt is believed to be a belt of fortune. Those days, people could know that there will be something good or bad, depending on how that belt could communicate to them. So sometimes, even when the enemies are coming, the belt could tell them, could fly into the kingdom, could fly into this court to tell the king that something is about to happen. So that's why until now, that belt is there. And here in this kind of museum, it's built using the soapstone and some shiny materials symbolizing the glory of the ancient, mighty, great Zimbabwe kingdom. We are still in the great enclosure, and this is the valley in these lawns. As you can see, this wall and this wall, this is the King's Valley. When we're talking about the King's Valley, we are talking about the King's Passage, which only the king was allowed to enter. I was talking about the king's entrance and the king's exit, whereby the king is coming to address his people concerning various matters affecting the kingdom. So he could come using this one, and he could go out using the other one. Anything he prefers that at that particular time, surrounded by his mighty soldiers. So you can see, I was saying that this wall is very tall. This is more than 11 meters wall, and the thickness of this wall is very big, making sure that no enemy can just penetrate into, or they can just make it for easily. And I was also saying this passage, as you can see, it's becoming small and small. As you can see, in the beginning it was very big, meaning that some people can enter and to a certain extent, but when it comes to here, no one was allowed to enter except for the king and his ministers. So this is the conical tower. From that point of view, the conical tower, that is a symbol of manhood, fertility, and leadership. It symbolizes that a woman cannot lead. That time, it symbolized that a woman cannot sit on the throne, only a man. That's why this thing symbolizes a manhood, that a man should rule, and only a man should rule from the royal family. And I was also articulating that this place, the design of this place, was meant in a way of showing the Zimbabwe bed. That is the Hungwe. In Shona, the bed is called the Hungwe. That symbolizes glory for the kingdom. That is, a kingdom was alerted of any danger, or the alerted of any good thing coming by that Hungwe bed. The bed which is on the Zimbabwe national flag of the present day country of Zimbabwe. So this is all about this the great enclosure, mainly for the great heritage of the ancient Zimbabwe kingdom.